Okay, so we showed you how to play a Kahoot game, and now I want to talk to you about how to create a Kahoot game. Now, the first thing that I want to point out to you though is that you don't have to make all of the Kahoots that can be played in your classroom. So one nice thing about Kahoot is that it's super easy to make them. So you could get your classes into groups and then have each group come up with its own Kahoot, which then they present and share to the whole class together. So that really adds a lot of opportunities for ways that you could use Kahoot. You can also pair it with PowerPoint or whatever presentation that a group is doing, and then that way they can give their presentation and then they can have a Kahoot immediately afterwards. And I found that if the kids know that a Kahoot is coming up after the presentation, they tend to pay better attention to the presentation, even better than if I tell them, say, that there's going to be a quiz after the presentation. They do much better if I engage that internal sense of competition and they know that a Kahoot is coming up after that presentation, then they're going to pay attention to what the other kids are saying. So you know, to get to Kahoot, it's just kahoot.it, and then what you can do is just scroll down, and on the page then it will say make your own at getkahoot.com. So you can just click right there. If you can just remember getkahoot.com, well, you're that far ahead of things. Okay, so you can get your own account and it's free, and so that is definitely the way to go about doing things. Since I already have an account, I'm just going to go ahead and sign in. Okay, so when I've logged into Kahoot, then to create a new Kahoot, I can either create a quiz, a discussion, or a survey. And I prefer the quiz, so I'm going to go ahead and choose that since we're talking about assessment. So we're going to start by giving the quiz a name, and so we'll call it Capitals. Okay, so my first question is going to be, what is the capital of France? I can set a time limit for how long the kids have to answer. 30 seconds is actually a gracious plenty. So 20 seconds is fine, although really once they start to know these things, then they're going to want to go very fast, and you're not going to need all 20 seconds. So then to set your answers, then you'll give your different possibilities, your distractors. So London, Paris, Milan, which isn't even a capital, but whatever, and Washington. So then I set the correct one to correct, and then I can say add question, and then it takes me to question 2. So my next question is going to be, what is the capital of Belgium? So I'll put my distractors: Paris, Brussels, Denmark, and Bern. Then I set for which one is correct. And I can go on. Okay, so this one I only have 2 questions. If I want to change the order, I can just drag them and then the order will be changed. Okay, so then you're going to click on next because you have your questions in the right order and you have your questions done. And then it allows you to put in a description of your quiz. So you can say capitals of the world. And then you can say whatever difficulty level that you want, and you can put different tags on it. You also want to put like what language that it's in, the privacy settings, which you can either put it to private or public, but it's a lot harder to find if you put it to private. And then the particular audience that you're looking for, and of course yours is going to be school, so there's really not a lot to do right there. Then you can click on next and choose your cover image, and you can drag and drop an image, or you can upload an image, but you don't even have to do it if you don't want to. Then you choose done, and then you have these different ways that you can share your Kahoot. You can put it on Twitter, you can copy and paste that link into Edmodo, or you can just play it immediately. You can also preview it if you prefer to do that at this time as well. The other thing that's kind of neat about Kahoot, well, really awesome, is that you can click on public, and then you can look up all sorts of different public Kahoots. So this is a nice way to look up Kahoots that might be already completed for you in your subject area. Okay, so let's say that I'm looking for a Kahoot that's in Spanish or about Spanish. Then I can type it in, and then I'm going to come up with a whole bunch of different things. Now that might be too general a topic. So if I put in Spanish telling time, then I have a bunch of quizzes that show me telling time. To preview a quiz, then I just click on the quiz like that, and then it can go through and I can preview the quiz or whatever. And then I can share that quiz if I want to as well. So that's really nice, because then you can look for quizzes that have already been created, and you don't have to create all of your own quizzes if you can find one that's about something in particular that you're teaching. Okay, so I hope that that helps you and that you and your classes have fun with the Kahoots.